Most Jellyfin installs are running on defaults, safe fallbacks that get you up and running, not a finished configuration. Wrong settings here cost you. Transcodes that should be direct place, metadata that doesn't match, a server that breaks the moment someone else tries to watch at the same time. By the end of this video, you'll have every setting detailed in libraries, users, networking, transcoding, and clients. Exactly what I run on my own setup and why. Pick movies or shows specifically, never mixed. Mixed disables a chunk of automatic metadata matching because Jellyfin doesn't know what kind of content it's looking at. None of the automatic matching works without the correct naming. Movie name and year in the folder, season and episode numbers in the file name. Same convention as the RStack uses. Get this wrong and no setting downstream fixes it. TMDB first for movies and shows, TVDB above it, only if anime is part of your library. Its episode ordering tends to be more accurate there. Jellyfin goes top to bottom and stops at the first match. The order is the actual setting, not just which providers are enabled. Turn this on. It writes posters, backdrops, and NFO files as real files next to your media instead of locking everything inside Jellyfin's internal database. On if your media is on the same file system as Jellyfin. Off if it's on network storage. NFS or SMB over a network mount is unreliable and just flood your logs for nothing. Drop the scheduled library scan to once a day. If your collection barely changes, set it to manual and trigger it yourself after adding content. No reason to scan a static library on a tight loop. Set your preferred language here, not just in the Open Subtitles plugin. Subtitle Mode Smart shows subtitles automatically when the audio language doesn't match the user's preferred language. Useful for foreign language content. Only Forced shows them only when the source flags them as forced. Set this per library. Scope library access per user instead of giving everyone access to everything. A kid's profile doesn't need visibility into your entire collection. Parental controls run off content ratings pulled from your metadata provider, not a flag you set per title. This is exactly why correct naming and metadata matching from the libraries sections matter here too. Pair with an access schedule to restrict when an account can stream, not just what it can see. Replaces typing a password on a TV remote with approving a 6-digit code from your phone. Worth it for any account that lives primarily on a TV, which on a media server is most of them. Default is unlimited. On a homelab running on a single node, one user hammering 3 simultaneous transcodes can kill everyone else's playback. Set a reasonable cap per user. 2 or 3 is usually enough. Set this if you're running Jellyfin behind a reverse proxy at a subpath. Leave it blank if Jellyfin is at the root of your domain. Wrong value here breaks all API calls. Clients can't communicate with the server. Without this, Jellyfin sees all requests as coming from the proxy IP rather than the actual client. This breaks IP-based session logging and rate limiting. Add your proxy's LAN IP here. On only if you intend to expose Jellyfin outside your LAN via VPN or reverse proxy. If you're watching locally only, leave it off. Don't enable it and forget about it. Don't configure TLS certificates inside Jellyfin. Let your reverse proxy, Nginx proxy manager, Caddy, or whatever you're running handle TLS termination. Jellyfin talks in plain HTTP internally to the proxy. The proxy handles HTTPS to the outside. One place to manage and renew certificates, not two. Jellyfin either direct plays a file as is, remuxes it into a different container without re-encoding, or fully transcode it in real time. The first two are basically free. Full transcoding is hardware intensive. Everything in this section is about avoiding it where you don't actually need it. Match this to what's actually passed through to your container or VM. QuickSync for Intel, NVENC for NVIDIA, VAPPI for AMD. If your hardware doesn't show up as an option, that's a pass-through problem at the container level. /dev/DRI for Intel and AMD. The NVIDIA runtime libraries for NVIDIA, not a Jellyfin settings problem. Only enable codecs your hardware can actually decode and encode. Checking a box for HEVC or AV1 that your GPU doesn't support does nothing. Jellyfin silently falls back to software transcoding anyway. Subtitles are their own transcode trigger, separate from video and audio. Sidecar formats like SRT that the client supports natively natively pass through for free. Anything that has to get burnt into the picture forces a full video transcode just to render text. If a server is only struggling on subtitled content specifically, this is why. Leave this on. It pauses transcoding the instant a client pauses playback, stops Jellyfin burning CPU rendering frames nobody's watching. Every active session shows whether it's direct playing or transcoding. Hovering the badge gives the actual reason: unsupported codec, bitrate cap, subtitle burn-in. A transcode can be the client's decision, not the server's. A mobile data cap or manually capped quality setting in the client forces a transcode even on hardware that could have handled direct play fine. Check the client settings before blaming the server. Trickplay generates the scrub bar thumbnail previews you get on every major streaming service. It's built into core Jellyfin now, not a separate plugin, and off by default on some setups. Runs as a background task, no ongoing cost during playback. Native Kotlin, no Google dependency, available on Findroid. Matters if you're running GrapheneOS like me or any degoogled Android setup. Native Swift, genuinely good on Apple TV specifically, where the official app has historically lagged on feature parity. Built on MPV, inherits MPV codec support instead of whatever your browser's video element handles. This specifically fixes transcode that shouldn't be happening. If something is transcoding through a browser tab that should be direct play, switching to Jellyfin Media Player is often the actual fix, not a server setting. The official Android TV app is actively maintained and works well. Unlike the phone app, avoid the web browser on a TV stick. It will transcode content that should be direct play. So that's it. By the end of this video, you should have everything running and up to your specifications. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me in the comments below. Do not hesitate to subscribe so you can be up to date with my newest videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.